so they'll have to cover it under probably a virtual safety car.
The field is now making its way around turn 5. This is what happened then. Oh, hit the wall, and Latifi hitting the wall too.
On Talladega Super Speedway, aerial coverage brought to you by Geico. And out front, it's Eric Jones. Big wreck back there. That's Harrison Burton in the 21 and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the 47. There was a third line forming, and it looks as though guys were indecisive if they were going to jump into it or not.
Yeah, the replay will show, but that kind of gets him out of control, and he never recovers. I think, you know, he's so out of shape inside the car, he's kind of coming off the gas a little bit. At least the car looks like it's slowing down tremendously as he's trying to gather control from that push he gets from Stenhouse.
You said it, Junior, before the race. Almost all the wrecks right there, that's where it starts. Almost all of these wrecks start from being pushed.
Joe Logano also involved in this in the 22. You see right there.
So Norris hadn't stopped, neither had Ricciardo. I think Ricciardo's currently P5 at the moment. So they're all looking round, Andrea Seidel crossing his arms. The strategy, I can't see any of the mechanics out in the pit lane, but surely they're going to take advantage of this. No one out of McLaren in the pit lane at the moment.
Edgerton starts to slide a little. Edgerton, perhaps Tim Harvey goes to the inside and there's just a little bit of contact.
Yeah, I think Will Martin just tried to tighten the line up at the exact same moment that Theo Edgerton was looking to get down the inside, and there was that slight contact, and that was enough to turn the car around. So just a little touch there. Off goes Will Martin at unabated speed, right into the barrier backwards.
And off he goes, and you can see the marshals run for cover. Nobody injured in that, amazingly. So the car comes to a pretty sudden stop, having gone through the tyres. The barrier gives way, and this is a really interesting angle, this, because Theo Edgerton, you can see, tries to go for that undercut. Will Martin either comes across the road or was tagged across the front of him.
Yeah, I think Will saw him in the mirror starting to go for that move, and so tightened his line. It's not
Off of turn 4 here.
And into the wall goes Bubba Wallace. And he comes back across the track, tags the 5. They're both in the wall, and the caution comes out.
That's the 20 car of Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell hard into the outside wall.
A playoff drive.
Harvick backs out. The 5 sliding up the racetrack, Bubba just feels like that the 5 didn't give him much room as he would have liked to come off of that corner. Kind of chasing him up the track here.
Yeah, Larson's got him in a bad spot right there and gets him in the wall. Then they go down the front straightaway, and it just looks like to me Bubba hangs a left to retaliate. And I got a problem with that. You're going.
The lead of the race, Auer, the pole sitter, dropping to second, and then Lucas Auer coming under fire here from Mirko Bortolotti, and a huge chunk behind them, involving several cars. A fireball coming from Dennis Olsen's Porsche. To his point of view, as the Ferrari driver tried to avoid it, and just in front of him, this contact massive into the wall with Thomas Preining and David Schumacher both out of the race.
And Schumacher says, thank you very much, I'll take 12th place. And any compromise now as Fernando Alonso goes off the track. That's a high-speed crash, and he's made contact with Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin. That is...
Josh Berry loose on the outside groove there. It's going to cut down in front of the 16. AJ trying to get around the 98. We got a big crash off turn 4. Track is blocked.
Yeah, pile up in turn 4 right
parking
now.
lot here.
Nobody can get by. Myatt Snyder in the 31. Let's take a look at what happened in turn 4.
Oh, 31 gets turned around. 21 just kind of just gets a little beating and banging as he worked his way through.
Then, monstrous trouble here.
Safety car boards and flags.
That is an extraordinary incident. There are cars everywhere. Golding's right in the centre of it. Courtney's backwards. Hazelwood, Smith.
Red flag.
Waterstoke, does this unpack what's gone on here? Oh, yes, horrible moment then for James Golding. And then all this lot have got nowhere to go. They have literally arrived in the middle of a gigantic accident. So it starts with James Golding tripping over right here, gets it crossed up, launches across the top of the curb, lucky not to roll it, and that has had the effect of tripping over Randall, and then the rest of them are all doing 150 kilometres an hour, and they drive smack bang into the middle of a gigantic mess. that's going to take some time to clean up. I think I can say with a reasonable degree of confidence that all drivers are okay and out. Man.
Transition into next year.
Big
so
crash.
big crash. Oh.
Is that Leclerc?
That's
a heavy one.
Carlos?
I think it's Leclerc with the red helmet, isn't it? Yeah, it's Leclerc. Ford arriving at 8, and he's just dropped it on the entry, hasn't he? And you can just see when it goes round the weight of these cars now, there's absolutely no way